really good to be here, and I do appreciate the Christian Heritage College commitment to, Indigenous people, but also to NAIDOC. And we think about this NAIDOC, which's vision is the next generation, strength, vision, and legacy. And I see that in two ways. I see that when I think of the next generation, not just the Indigenous next generation, but I think about the next generation period. I remember back a while ago when I was, it was around the time of The Voice, and hearing comments coming both ways, and was a little bit concerned of some of people's views. And I was invited to one of the schools to share with students from grade 1 to 3. And one of the beautiful things that hit me is these students wanted to know about Indigenous culture. And it really gave me a sense or a hope that for the next generation, because they had no bias, they were really open and wanted to learn. And it probably encouraged me more than it encouraged them. So the next generation's strength, vision, and legacy. And part of that legacy is what I leave behind, what all of us leave behind to the next generation. I was looking up, just to be sure, the purpose of NAIDOC. It is to celebrate the history, the culture, and the achievements of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And sometimes that seems to get missed out, and people are not fully aware of maybe some of the accomplishments, some of the history, certainly the history and the culture and the achievements. I grew up in a time where they didn't teach the history of our people, but that's changing now, more in colleges like this and in schools. But as I begin, I'd like to just give an acknowledgement of our country. Today, it is my land, it is your land, it is our land. It is a shared land, however, it is the first and foremost God's land. In Acts 17, 26 to 27, it says, "And he made from one man every nation and mankind to live on all the faces of the earth, having determined allotted periods and the boundaries of their dwelling place, that they should seek God and perhaps feel their way towards him and find him. Yet he is actually not far from each one of us." It is in the light of this past and present history, I acknowledge, using European terms, the traditional owners. But in the true Indigenous understanding, I acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land, for they did not see themselves as owning the land, but as part of the land, which is in keeping with the mandate of creation described in the book of Genesis. We are in a place to learn and to worship. And we do need to acknowledge the elders, both past, present, and future. NAIDOC, I believe, is a great opportunity to come together and acknowledge the past and future hopes as a nation, with our rich heritage of multiculturalism, multi-ethnic diversity, and the first people of this land. When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about John Batman. Now, not to go into, the negative side, but truth-telling is very important. He was a pioneer that many attribute to Melbourne, to this founding Melbourne. He was the first one that actually did a treaty with Indigenous people. However, the history books will tell us that there were question marks about his treaty. And the New South Wales government, Sir Richard Burt, effectively squashed that treaty with the proclamation of Terra Nullius, which he issued back in 1835, which stated that Terra Nullius, a land belonging to no one, which really gave the British a free rein in the country, and considered anybody living in any parts of the country, if they didn't get authority from the government, they were considered trespassers. It was kind of funny when I think about my people being considered as trespassers in their own land. Now, there was a commission that just finished. It started in 21 down in Victoria. It's a truth commission. And this truth commission found that the British actually were involved in genocide. And the end results of all the things that took place, the population in a short period of time went from 60,000 down to 15,000. And we may ask, many people ask me at times, why is it important for us to go back to some of these stories? Well, truth-telling is part of the healing process. It's part of acknowledging what happened in the past. We can't move forward until we acknowledge what was behind us, what has happened. And so it is very important. And so when I think about these things and I think about NAIDOC, it is good that we can come together and celebrate the rich heritage that we have. The rich heritage that is the Indigenous people of this land, and their heritage, my heritage, is not just my heritage, it is all of our heritage. It is your heritage, it is every Australian's heritage to be able to look back and I would hope if they're not there yet, that at one stage they would come to that place where they'd have this deep sense that this is part of my heritage as well, the Indigenous people. And then we looked at all the different parts of that journey, from even when the British first came, the convicts first came, and different ones came, and we look back and say, yes, things happened and they were wrong, but let's acknowledge those things, but let's move from there and say, what can we learn together? What can we gain from this journey? And again, I come back to that vision theme for this NAIDOC. It is the next generation. And we may only get part of that, but it is my prayer, and I believe it's yours, and I believe it is the college's prayer too, that the next generation would be vastly different and understand, and part of the learning and the training and the education that happens in this place would help to inspire and help to change some of the things that need to change. And the strength of vision, this vision that for a better future for all of us, not just for some, but for all. And the legacy that we leave behind. I want to leave behind a legacy. I want to leave behind a legacy that empowers my people, but not just my people, that empowers all people. My past role, and I'm still involved in a bit with teaching all around the place, is trying to raise up leaders and trying to educate leaders, particularly in the ministerial sector. It's a legacy that I want to leave, that they can take the things that maybe I've learned and impart to them, that they can help to change our future. So this is my passion for me, and I guess for the college here, that I'm so proud to be a part of. Thank you.